Hi guys, this is Pestillion and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today I'm going to cover all Gunsmith Task 1 all the way through to 16, as when I first made the 1 to 6 part, that was back at point 7, and then point 8 was 7 to 11, and then obviously in point 9 there was 12 to 16, and things have changed in that time. So now I've compiled them all together, and I'm going to do 1 to 16 in one big hit. There'll be timeline links below, so you guys can go straight to the ones you're up to if you're like doing bit by bit at different times. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. First up, we've got Gunsmith Part 1. For Gunsmith Part 1, you're going to need to buy an MR133 shotgun from Skier 1, and also an X400 flashlight. From Skier 2, you're going to need the RTC choke, the plastic pistol grip, the BGV foregrip, and lastly, you'll need to go to Skier 3 and get the plastic foregrip mount, as well as the Sprite. Chuck all this together. It should look like the picture, and you'll be able to hand it straight in. Now, if you're trying to do this earlier, you might need to find some of these items on scavs, and you can get the red pliers, and then do the Mechanic 1 trade to get some of the parts that way too, which might make it so you can skip getting to Skier 3 and be able to get it done at Skier 2. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 2. For this, you need to buy an AKS-74U from Propor 1. You'll need a 60 round mag. You can get this from either completing ice cream cones, and then you'll be able to do hard drive trades, or you might be able to find them in containers throughout the maps. Lastly, if you are level 4 with Skier, you can actually purchase these straight away from Skier 4. Next, from Skier 2, you're going to need a B11 mount, a BGV foregrip, the PT lock, and the PT3 stock. And then lastly, you need to make sure you fold the gun so it takes up only 6 slots. With all these parts put together, you'll be able to hand it in. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 3. For this, you need to go to Peacekeeper 2 to buy the MP5 SD. Now, this will only be unlocked if you've completed the Skier task Scrap Metal. If you haven't done this, you'll need to buy the MP5 SD foregrip from Peacekeeper 2, and then from Peacekeeper 3, the MP5 SD upper receiver and the silencer. Then after that, you need to go to Peacekeeper 2 to get the MP5 SD tri-rail, the X400 flashlight from Skier 1, and then from either Mechanic 2, you can trade for a 50 round mag, or you can purchase one straight from Mechanic 3. Put it all together and hand it in. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 4. For this, you need to purchase an M4A1 from Peacekeeper 3. After you've done that, you want to buy a BGV grip from Peacekeeper 2. From Peacekeeper 3, you're going to need a hammer sight, a 260mm barrel, the RIS foregrip, a rubber butt pad, and the MK12 gas plug. Then you'll also need to get a 60 round mag, which you can get from trading 2 circuits or from completing Tiger Safari from the Peacekeeper storyline. Then you also need an NT4 silencer, which you can get after completing Cargo X Part 2, or you can loot from places inside the resort, particularly room East 316 has a high chance. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 5. For Gunsmith Part 5, you need to get a DVL, which you can purchase from Skier Level 4. However, you can find DVLs in room East 306 or in weapon cabinets throughout the map. Once you've got a DVL, buy an X400 flashlight from Skier 1. Then you need to buy a Nightforce 2K scope. You can get this from Mechanic Level 2 by trading either the power bank, a magnet, and a UV lamp. You can find a power bank in the west wing of the resort. As you go in the hole in the wall from the fence line, the shelving on the left, they spawn there. And you'll need to get 2 propane tanks to trade for a mount from Mechanic 2. Alternatively, you can get the scope from Signal Part 4, or from having Mechanic Level 4, you can actually just purchase it straight from him, including the mount. Chuck all these together and you'll complete the task. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 6. For this, you need to buy an RSAS from Peacekeeper 4 after completing Wet Job Part 5, which is the second last of the Peacekeeper storyline, or you can find in rooms East 226, the West 221 room, or 218 room, or lastly, you can also get inside the Kipper store. Once you have an RSAS, from Peacekeeper 4, you need to buy the suppressor and the Groll pistol grip. From Skier 3, you need to get the M-Lock foregrip. And then for the scope, it's actually the easiest way to get it is just go to Mechanic 3 and you can purchase a 1500 meter EOTech Voodoo scope and mount. It's actually the 1-6 scope. So it's actually surprised a lot of people that this is actually a 1500 meter scope, but it still works for the scope, for the RSS anyway. The other option is you can actually trade 5 USEC dog tags for the Skier 4 scope, or you can actually use a 2K scope here. Chuck it all on, hand it in. Next we've got Gunsmith Part 7. For this, you need to get a M870 shotgun from Skier Level 2. Whilst you're there, you might as well buy the choke. From Skier 1, you need the X400 flashlight. From Mechanic 2, you're going to need to trade for the foregrip using a rec bat. You need the Mesa tactical clamp, the SGA stock, which is traded for 3 AA batteries and 1 D battery, or you can purchase this stock from Mechanic 4. Lastly, head over to Skier and get the M-Lock foregrip, and then chuck it on. Chuck them all together, and you'll be able to hand it in. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 8. For this, you need to go to Propor 2 and buy an AKM. You want to go to Propor 3 and buy a PBS-1 silencer. Head over to Skier 2, get a Tactical Tool 10,000. Skier 3 for the CAA RS47 front mount. You need to get a PMag 30 from Peacekeeper 2, a Fortis foregrip from Peacekeeper 4, as well as the Zukov S stock, which is the new stock for the AKs. Lastly, you have to get the trade from Mechanic 2 or do the purchase from Mechanic 4 for the 2K scope, chuck it all together and be able to hand it in. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 9. For this one, you need to head over to Propor Level 2 and buy an AKS74N. You need to go to Skier Level 1 to buy an X400 flashlight. From Skier 2, you want to get the PT lock, the PT3 stock, the RK3 pistol grip, the B33 rail, the B10M foremount, and a DTK1 muzzle. Then, lastly, from Peacekeeper 3, buy the RVG black foregrip, chuck it all together and hand it in. Just note that you need to fold this stock to be able to hand it in. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 10. For Gunsmith Part 10, you need to buy an AK-105 from Propor 3. From Peacekeeper 2, you need to buy a DT mount and DT silencer. From Peacekeeper 3, buy the hammer sight. Skier 2, you need an RP1 charge handle, a PT lock and PT3 stock, the Tactical Tool 10,000. Head over to Skier 3, get the MOE foregrip with the M-Lock grip. From Skier 4, get a 60 round AK mag, which you can also trade from Propor if you've completed the ice cream cones. Head over to Mechanic 3, buy the MOE AK pistol grip, chuck it all together, and fold that stock and hand it in. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 11. For Gunsmith Part 11, you need to buy an ASVEL, or technically trade an ASVEL, for GM counters and MREs. If you're having trouble getting GM counters, there's plenty on Interchange, particularly in IDEA and all the tech stores. You need to trade for a 30 round mag using 3 yellow pliers from Propor 4. Head over to Propor 2, get the MPSU scope, Mechanic 2 for the Rotor 43 buffer, the GL shock stock, which you can trade for 2 PSUs or buy from Mechanic 4. From Peacekeeper 3, you need the MOE stock, the rubber butt pad. Then head over to Skier 3 for the TOS mount. Lastly, head over to Skier 4 for the ANPEQ laser. Now, when you go to hand this in, just check, because you might have to unfold it or fold it to make the right recoil. You can't actually see the difference, but there is actually a difference. A lot of people get caught up on this one, and you'll get the Kibba 2 key as a reward for handing this in. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 12. For this, you need to head to Mechanic 3 and buy an AK-102. You then need to buy the 2U Claire light and the MOE AK pistol grip. You also need to find a 5.56 rotor silencer, as well as the AFG OD foregrip. Once you've found these, chuck it all on the AK, delete the stock. You don't need that at all. Remove it, and you'll be able to hand it straight in. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 13. For this, you need to buy an MPX from Peacekeeper Level 2. From Peacekeeper 4, buy the Shift foregrip. Mechanic 3, get the Annihilator muzzle. And then you need to find a LazTac 2 flashlight, as well as a Skeleton pistol grip. Once you chuck all these on, hand it in, move on to the next task. Next, we've got Gunsmith Part 14. For Gunsmith Part 14, you need to buy an AKMN from Propor Level 3. From Skier 2, you need the ME adapter, the MOE stock, the rubber butt pad, the MOE handguard, and the M-Lock. Make sure you buy the MOE stock from Skier level 3, as the Peacekeeper ones won't work. For Peacekeeper 2, you're going to need the Colt Buffer Tube and a PMag. Mechanic 3, the MLE AK pistol grip. And then lastly, you need to find a Rotor 762 silencer. Once you chuck all these on, hand it in, move on. Gunsmith Part 15. First, you'll need to buy an M1A from Peacekeeper 3. Then from Peacekeeper 1, you're going to need the AMM mount and the T1 sight. From Mechanic 3, you'll need to buy an Archangel stock, the 22-inch barrel, and the UTG4 mount. Mechanic 4, you're going to need that 2K scope, or you can do the trade through Mechanic 2. You need to buy, from Mechanic 4, the JP MB M14 muzzle. From Skier 3, you need the LS321 laser, and you need to find an Ultimac M8 mount. Once you chuck all these on together, you'll be able to hand it straight in. For Gunsmith Part 16, you're going to need to get yourself an M4A1 from Peacekeeper 3. You also need to get a 60 round mag while you're there. You can trade those for 2 circuits. You need the MK12 gas plug, the 260mm barrel, the KAC QDC muzzle. From Peacekeeper 4, you need the Grohl pistol grip. Mechanic 3, the Raptor charge handle. Mechanic 4, you need the shock stock, the CQR foregrip, the MK10 handguard with the 10-inch rail on it as well. From Skier 4, you're going to need the Reaper IR thermal sight with the sight mount. And lastly, you'll need to find an NT-4 FDE silencer. So guys, that's all the Gunsmith task up until patch 0.10 and the release of 0.10. I'm sure there's going to be more in the future. I just want to put the warning out there that I'm sorry if these are going out of date at any point in time. I can't really just change one of them, but every time that they do another big wave of new Gunsmith tasks, I will add them in a bulk. So then we'll have the one video accessible for all, and I'll make changes when the next big group of Gunsmith tasks come through. So guys, finally, I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for future content. Go down to my link below for Twitch. Give me a follow over there. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help. And lastly, I'll see you next time.